Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bedrock Survival. As you can see here, I went and upgraded our garden area a little bit. Luckily with the zombie spawner, we now have all 4 crop types growing, and then I've got melons and pumpkins up here. These are slabs, not full blocks, which I'm wondering if it's affecting the growth rate or them spawning. Because I haven't gotten a single melon or a single pumpkin yet, and I kind of need both a little bit. So if anybody knows if this affects like them being able to spawn in actual melons and pumpkins, and they want to let me know, that would be super duper amazing. Because I may have to replace these with wood, or not wood, dirt, because I haven't gotten any melons and pumpkins yet, and I really need them. We've done a little upgrading. I finished the other chimney on the blacksmith shop. You can see we've got some coal ore out front too. We've got some shinies here on our hotbar. I ground down some skeletons and enchanted some tools here. Our silk touch pick, it's about dead, but we got the fortune one here, which is awesome. I had an enchanted sword with looting on it. I wasn't really paying too much attention like I probably should have been, and it broke. So I no longer have that. This is actually the sly little way that we get down to the zombie spawner now. I put in some water elevators. I initially had a little building here, but I felt like it looked too cluttered, being so close to the garden area. So then I came up with this. I might put a pressure plate here to make this automatic, but I haven't figured out how to make the trapdoor that covers the up elevator automatic. If anybody has any ideas, I'm all ears, because I kind of know redstone, but I don't know a ton of redstone. So any help or assistance is totally awesome. So yeah, like I said, we got our chimney done over here, and then we had to upgrade a couple of these smokers. Well, not smokers. One of these smokers in a furnace and a blast furnace. I put some hoppers in just to make smelting things a little more automated until we get a super smelter. You'll see we've got tons of food. I bred up animals for about 5 days straight, to the point where our world was starting to lag. Like, we couldn't even walk over near the barn without the entire area just like glitching out on us. Which I am actually going to show you that footage because I think it's pretty hilarious. One of the cows ended up in the chicken coop, and it was getting pushed around by all the entities in the chicken coop. We're kind of working on it again. I'm going to breed them up the same way I did before, and then get rid of them all down to just one pair for breeding again, and start the whole process over until maybe we'll make like an auto chicken farm or something later down the road. I don't know. Haven't decided. But today what we're going to do is we're going to get those dual spider spawners, those cave spider spawners figured out and wired up. And what we're actually going to do first is I'm going to kick it over to a survival world, a creative test world. And we're going to talk about the mechanics of the cave spider spawner farms, because it's actually pretty simple. It doesn't really, this way that we're going to do it, which is based on a design by Wattles, it takes no redstone at all. So it's pretty efficient, and it's pretty lo-fi, it's pretty resource light, which is awesome. As you all know, I kind of prefer to do things a little resource light. If I can, I'd rather do stuff with as little redstone or as little mechanics as I need to make it as easy as possible. So we're going to kick it over into that creative world. We're going to work on our cave spider spawner setup, and then we're going to do a quick step-by-step as I'm building it up, because I actually have already built it up, and then recorded that footage. So through the miracles of editing, we're going to see everything all together, and we're going to work through all the mechanics, and it should be a reliable little farm, maybe. Maybe I already know the answer to that. But we're going to kick it over, and I'll see you in the creative world. Alrighty, everybody. So I have our test cave spider spawner all set up here. Real quick. These are all the materials you're going to need for it. You're going to need some building blocks, which if you're digging out the space around it, you're going to generate your own building blocks that way. You're going to need some slabs. You're going to need some water buckets. I usually suggest making a little 2x2 infinite water source, and then that way you have infinite water, because obviously we're going to need to fill the spider spawner room and then the trench to feed them down to the collection chamber. And this is all you're going to need for the collection chamber is an iron trapdoor, a chest, and a hopper. You can use any type of trapdoor here. Wattles suggests using an iron trapdoor. I also suggest you use an iron trapdoor. The reason why you should use iron instead of a wood trapdoor is because when you're swinging, and I just broke that glass, when you're swinging your sword at the spiders, if you hit that wood trapdoor enough times, you're going to break it, and then you're going to get an entire swarm of cave spiders in your little room, and you're going to get stung, and you're going to get poisoned, and you might die. So just heed his warning, heed my warning, use an iron trapdoor. So we've got our room all laid out here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to dig out 4 blocks in 3 directions from the spawner. Go out 4, and then whichever direction you pick to be the front of your spawner, you're going to go out 6, but you're going to go 7 from the back wall, and then you're going to drop down 1, and then you're going to go forward 4 more blocks until you start building your trenches underneath these smooth slab blocks here. So you're going to make your 4 by 4 by 4 by 6 room with your little dropping down 1. You're going to make sure that that room is 3 blocks. The floor is 2 blocks from the bottom of the spawner, and that the roof is 1 block above the spawner with a slab above it. That slab is there so cave spiders don't idle on top of it and mess with the rates in your farm. So you want to make sure you have a slab up there as well. Down here, at the end of your room, you're going to knock out the block at the foot of that room, and you're going to line it with slabs. This is going to stop the water from going down into your collection trench, but it's going to allow the cave spiders to fit through, because cave spiders only need a half block gap to be able to get through, which will allow them to feed down into the collection chamber, which will let them feed down to your collection area here. For this collection trench, it's going to be 10 blocks long, but you're going to go 5 blocks from the back, you're going to drop down 1, and then you're going to go 5 more blocks to this chest here, with a hopper on your 10th block facing into it, and a slab above that. You don't necessarily need these glass blocks here. I like it because I like being able to see into my spawner rooms. I like to see what's going on in there, so I have glass here. You don't need glass here. Obviously, none of this needs to be glass. It can all be stone. I'd actually suggest that you make it out of stone. I just have it out of glass so we can look at it. So once the spiders start feeding down into here, they're going to come along this trench. They're going to kind of get jammed up here on top of the hopper, and then you're just going to wildly swing away at them with your sword. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take it into a survival world. We're going to switch over the settings on the creative world to survival, and I'm going to turn night back on, and we're going to watch this in action real quick just to cover all of our bases, and then when we're done with that, we're going to kick it back over to the survival world. Alrighty, everybody. So the sun is starting to set, which means we should see this spider spawner kick on here any minute now. Hopefully. Fingers crossed I built it right. I'm pretty sure I built it right. It's an older design by Wattles, and he wasn't exactly clear on how... There they are. Or there one is, anyways. Oh no, did I put the wrong type of spider in there? Oh shit. Let's see. Okay, so there's a second. See how they slide right through? Down they come. Oh crap. Where the heck did you come from? How? I never claimed to be really good at elytraflying. But where the heck? There's no holes here. There's no holes there. I don't even know where the heck he came from. But anyways, as you can see, it works the longer you AFK, the more that fall down in here. I think they're getting stuck on that block, though. Yep, that's the trouble with cave spiders, is they hop. And it doesn't matter what you do unless you try building a really sophisticated, really redstone farm that is gonna help stop them. But as you can see, we're getting tons of spawns in there. And they'll slowly get pushed down in. Slowly but surely. But I'm not really planning on this farm in our survival world on being an XP farm. It's mostly just for the spider eyes. I just wanted to have it rigged up properly so we can get a renewable source of spider eyes. And I mean, the string's kind of nice too, I guess. But it's mostly for the spider eyes, so we can have them for potions and other things. Well, not other things, just for potions, because that's all they're used for. But yeah, it's a pretty simple farm. Like I showed you up there, it doesn't really take anything redstone. That's the only mechanic. You need a trapdoor, a hopper, and a chest, and then you basically just wait for a bunch of them to feed down here into the collection chamber. I have a feeling it's not exactly working correctly because I keep switching it from survival to creative when I'm working on it, so I think it's kind of affecting them because they're just acting a little weird. But we're going to kick it back over to the survival world. Well, that's kind of funky, isn't it? I think that's the closing right there. So, real quick, we're gonna go over the steps. Step 1, when you're creating your cave spider spawner, is you're going to dig the room out in a 4 by 4 by 4 by 6 room, with the front edge of your room going 6 blocks out from the spawner. You're then going to dig down after the 7th block from the back of the spawner. So the easiest way to do that is place a water bucket at the back of the spawner room, let the water flow, and then at the last block where the water touches, break that block, and then dig down the rest of the room 1 block lower, like we talked about in the creative test world. The next step you're going to do is you're going to fill, or you're going to make your trench, which we see here in our lovely little glitch. This trench here behind me is going to be 10 blocks long. You're going to leave it 3 blocks down from your spider spawner room. It's going to be 3 blocks down for 5 blocks. You're then going to dig down 1 block, and then the remaining 5 blocks are going to be 4 blocks below your spawner room. You're going to place slabs across the block gap, which will allow the spiders to come in, but it will keep the water from flowing out. And then at the back here, you're just going to have a hopper with a chest, a trapdoor, and a slab to hold them in place. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. With this particular design, it's not really made or set up for doing a like XP farm setup like this, because you see the XP orbs get stuck on the hopper a little bit, and they get stuck on the trapdoor. So you're not exactly getting as much XP as you can from this particular design. There are more efficient designs that you can make. The main reason why I created this one is because it is literally so resource low, because it's so resource low, it's easy to make in your early game or in your mid game, and it doesn't take a whole lot of resources, so you're not wasting a whole bunch of time and effort on something that you're really not going to be using all that much. Cave spider spawners are really niche. Spider spawners in general are pretty niche to begin with. They're not something that really is used for XP a whole lot. Maybe if you're brewing up a ton of potions, you want a spider farm because you get tons of eyes. Granted, we're not using a looting sword or anything, so the levels are pretty low, and you have to wait for them to hop down the gap towards you, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, it's pretty efficient. I basically just want it for the spider eyes, like I said. So yeah, we're gonna just call it a day there, I think. And I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please go ahead and give us a like. If you want to see more stuff like this, consider subscribing to the channel. I think I'm going to be doing a skyblock series maybe in the future. I haven't quite decided. Or maybe parkour. I'm kind of on the fence. I haven't, I'm thinking of branching out and getting away from maybe just the Let's Plays, which I am enjoying. The next episode of the Let's Play series, we're actually going to do a lot more building. We're going to get our tower built, and we're going to get our portal house built. And I'm going to go out with a whole bunch of wool, and we're going to mark out the main spot where the Tudor Mansion's going to eventually go. So the next episode should be pretty jam-packed once we get to it. And I really hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope that you have a wonderful day and a beautiful tomorrow, folks. Thanks.